Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you've been wondering where I've been hiding for the last few months, well, I recently switched jobs and life got a little bit hectic and therefore I've not been able to focus on this YouTube channel. And personally, I found this decision of moving jobs to be a very difficult choice to make. So today I thought I'll share with you my story of being involved in the legal industry in various capacities and how I ended up where I am today. So a quick background about me is that I have been a qualified lawyer here in Sri Lanka for over 12 years. And in that time, I have been involved in the legal industry in various capacities. I've worked in a law firm, I've worked as a counsel involved in litigation, and I've also worked as a lawyer involved in a corporate or a company. So let me tell you my experiences in each of these roles and why I made the switch. Now, before we start, I want to make it very clear that this is just my story and my experience. Your experience might be entirely different, and that's okay. When I first stepped into this legal world, I had no clue as to what path to take. So the first opportunity I got was to work at a law firm, and there I got to experience life as a solicitor. Now, as a solicitor, you get to be involved in a whole range of things, including filing cases, dealing with clients, and overall supporting the barrister in arguing the case. But for some reason, being a barrister, a litigator, a counsel, or whatever you want to call it, appealed a little bit more to me. So when I got my first opportunity to work as a counsel, being a junior counsel to a senior commercial lawyer here in Sri Lanka, I jumped at that opportunity. The real plus of being a litigator was that it brought new experiences almost every single day. One day you'll be learning about combustion engines to argue a patent case, and the next day you'll be learning the laws related to condominium management for a case related to that. And honestly, I loved that life. And that's evident by the fact that I worked as a litigator for over 10 years. But despite its thrills, the fact that there were constant delays in litigation and the fact that the cases kept getting dragged on really started to get to me. And I also found that being in litigation meant that you had to always be switched on. What I mean is that you were always thinking about the next deadline or the next submission, and there was no time for you to switch off. And so finally came the corporate world. Now, I started off being a part-time consultant in a few companies, and then during the pandemic slump when litigation was at an all-time low, I decided to take on a full-time role in a corporate. And honestly, it was one of the hardest decisions I had to make. Because I was very comfortable as a litigator and people around me kept telling me that I shouldn't be doing it. So I was very nervous making this shift. But surprisingly, corporate life offered a different kind of peace. It was a lot more structured than being in litigation, but it did allow me to switch off at 5 p.m. This was a refreshing change from the round-the-clock nature of litigation. Now, being locked in from 9 to 5 does have its limitations, but I felt like it freed up the rest of my day. And another pleasant surprise in corporate life, which I didn't expect to find, was that I felt like I was making more of an impact. What I mean is, in litigation, you're constantly putting out fires and then moving on. But in the corporates I've been involved in so far, I felt like I've been able to make decisions and changes that impact the business, at least in some small way. And it makes you feel a sense of accomplishment knowing that you've made an impact. But of course, the big downside of working for a corporate is that it's not as exciting as litigation, because corporate life tends to be a little more monotonous. But I suppose everything has its trade-offs. So, where does it leave me now? Will I continue at a corporate or will I go back into litigation? Well, honestly, I don't really know. I'm still figuring it out. And I think that's the point. There are no right decisions and wrong decisions in these kind of situations. There are only choices. And if the choice you made doesn't work out, well then I suppose you cough it up to experience and tell yourself at least you've tried it and then move on. And of course, this is only my experience. If you ask 10 different people about this, they'll probably give you 10 different answers. And another thing is that finances tend to play a very important role in these choices. But today I wanted to share with you my opinion, which did not take into account the financial aspect. Anyway, that's it for this video. What are your thoughts on this? Have you had to make choices like this? And what are the factors that swayed you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in another one. Take care. Bye.